Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I am starting off my first Spfbo vlog, which I am separating into two videos, so 5 books per video. And Spfbo, if you don't know, is self-published fantasy blog off. I always have to think of what actually the letter stands for, which is created and hosted by BOOKCLUB, where like people that self-publish their fantasy books submit stuff, blah blah blah. There's a whole process. I don't want to explain it now. But basically, Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy made her own version where she had other contributors, me among them, to like, I was going to say, declare the winner of Spfbo, Cassidy's version. So we're doing that, and I'm reading all the books that was the 10 finalists, and that's what we're doing for this vlog. That is the whole point of this vlog. Yeah, I am starting off today on the 28th of February, starting one day early on my March TBR, because I could do it. I have charged my Kindle. I have none of them physically. If I really love some of them, I will buy them physically. But for right now, I'm not going to do that. I just want to go to the front page so I can show you. I can also just pop a picture. But this became my first pick. Kind of randomly. But it's on my March TBR and I want to start with one of those first. It doesn't really matter which one goes first. But yeah, we have the 13th Hour. The Cruel Gods Book 1 by Through the Skies. This is tagged as LGBT. Don't know the rap or anything yet. This seems to be like a emo elf person on the cover, if you can see that. And then a dude that has like Casbreaker vibes. So we shall see what happens. I'm gonna start it today. My goal, I'm saying this, my goal is to, it's like 400 something pages. So my goal is to read 200. I also have work. And I also need to do live stuff, which is annoying. So, I don't know if it will happen. But my goal is to actually, like, finish it tomorrow. In my head. And I probably won't make it. And then we have to have days where I catch up. We shall see. Wish me good luck. I'm not giving you a synopsis or anything now. Because I don't know anything. Because that's what I would. But I will talk more about it like when I started it, etc. And if I would try to give thoughts other ways instead of just being like, hey, I finished the book like I usually do. But if I read a lot of work, then I need to finish later. I don't know why I picked this up, but it's my little cat. Probably I won't be able to read 200 pages of work anyway. So we shall see. Probably we'll read it all in bed later because that's how I roll. Yay, welcome to my first Spfbo vlog. So I was gonna upload my vlog and Gigi's having like a full-on hubbing session right in front of me. And I'm like, thanks Gigi. This is inappropriate behavior for my vlog. Either way, I was at work and I did start the 13th Hour. I was just gonna check how long I got. I'm gonna like read more now, but I wanted to get like a little update in. I'm at 41 pages. Great. To be honest, very overwhelmed at the moment. There's a lot of words and things thrown around for the world, and I'm just like, okay, am I supposed to remember all this? Because I literally already forgotten. But we start off with a main character that has been mentioned in name once. I've already forgotten that. And she is having these documents that are falsified. That they're going to use to take in some refugees from another world, whatever we're calling it. Because basically in this world that they are in now, they live in the other city, all the mortals or whatever. I don't even know. And all the mortals are not even like normal humans. They all like have different abilities that we can see through their eyes. I literally don't know, okay? The gods are like the ones that need to pray to and like pay tithes to or whatever. And they are like the immortals, right? And then they're actually real. And then when like people die, they just like kind of dissolve and they so go back to the gods or whatever. But our main character does not like believe in the gods because they suppress the mortals. And, like, they're not good people. Thank you for the humping sounds, Gigi. We have, like, warders that are, like, they are diviners. Not all diviners are warders, apparently, but the warders are diviners. And they can, like, touch people and see what you've done, like, for the past hour. As well as, like, your immediate future. And they're, like, the ones that controls stuff. Or, like, make sure rules are followed for the gods. Okay, there's so much. I, like, don't know how to explain stuff. Then, at the same time, on, like, the top of the world, there's, like, this big clock tower that, like, every hour strikes. When it strikes a different hour, you can go into a different world. But the gods cannot leave their world because they are not allowed to. So when you leave the world, you can, like, be outside their, I was gonna say, eye. And I'm just like, Then just leave then. Jeez. Why are you there if you can just leave and be outside their control? Like, either way, that's what I thought. And they're gonna smuggle people in the world. That is terrible, apparently. And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. Either way. And then the diviner people, waters people, can also control time. They can like stop time or whatever. And yeah, what else? I need to check my notes. Where's my phone? This is all like within the 40 pages. And I'm just like, I need to write down notes because I'm like, jeez. I almost dropped my phone and that was a sound. The gods are really like strict on like what's blasphemy and like you can commit 2 sins and then like if you commit those 2 sins, they can like evaporate you. And if you kind of pray to them, they can hear you. Thank you, Gigi. And then it can literally just like murder you where you stand. Like the gods. So they're like, you know, scary, blah, 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 blah. Then there's also like these killings going around. We follow one warder as well. There's like killings going around. He has like unique abilities, but we don't really know specifically what. The killings leave bodies, but like mortals, humans, whatever we call them, they don't leave bodies behind. So that means that the souls don't go to their gods, but somewhere else and no one knows where. So there's that going on. I'm just trying to explain the world and I don't understand. And like, as I said, everyone is like split into different things. Like we have the diviners. Our main character is like a Vesper. I don't know what that means, but like they are like the lowest of the low. And my character is a Vesper. And then she was spying in like this bar thing where she'd been working the last few months. And then there was 2 other diviners there. They stopped time, but the stop time thing didn't work on her. And now they're like hunting her down because she's special, apparently. Of course she is. But like, it makes sense. She's the main character. We need the plot. And then now our diviner that they also met in the beginning because there was like some struggles taking the elevator up to the god war or whatever. Now he's like, need to find her to get answers because they think that she might be behind the killings because like she's someone that the powers from the diviners don't work on and like the souls are not taken. I know that this clip doesn't make serious sense, but yeah, and that's where we are at now. We're gonna like, I guess the paths are gonna cross again, find out this daddy body thing, and I guess the world will make more sense after a while. Maybe the other worlds are terrible, so that's why they need to go to the god world. I don't know, we don't know enough. But yeah, it's only 40 pages in. It's like 400, so we shall see. I'm gonna go and read now, and I will update you before I go to bed, or something, or if something really cool happens. I don't even know, but obviously I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I had to kind of explain the book, so see you later. Okay, so it is like almost 1 a.m. I almost read until like 12 and I like didn't do anything else since I came home from work. I'm reading this so slow. I don't know if it's like I'm taking my time really thoroughly or if it's the book. I don't know. But either way, I ended on 222 pages, like on page 222, I mean. And I would say in the beginning, as I said in the first clip, that I was very confused and like I didn't really feel a story. And now it's like it's growing on me. I am kind of seeing the world that the author has created and I like can appreciate it much more. I feel like it was very dumpy in the beginning, whereas I felt like it was so much information that was hard to get an overview. Now that we calmed a bit down, it is much more interesting. I don't know like exactly how I feel about the plot yet. It's not like the most original thing ever, but I am intrigued enough to like be interested in it. Some more notes. I'm not obviously not going to spoil anything, but another thing is that I said that they were escaping like to our place. It's called Chime actually, where like you can travel between the worlds, and that they're escaping from another place to them. And I was just like, why are they doing that? That's where the gods are. I was like mixing it up. In Chime there is not the gods. It is like on the outside and like the 12 other domains. That's where the gods controls things. And every creature, also our main character, who is a Vesper, has like one certain god. Her name is Valeria, I think. And she's like terrible to like the Vespers. So a lot of Vespers escape to Chime and live in another city there, like as refugees and like unregistered people. And then there's like many other different, like we have the Vespers, I wrote down some, we have like Simmer, we have other things. Our main point is that all of them have different abilities and they can all be warders, but a lot of the warders are diviners, and the dude that we follow, he has a name. Quentin? I don't know how to say his name. He is like, as I said, a diviner, and their ability, as I said, is the future thing, and Vesper's ability is like to control the shadows and stuff, and they are known to be like sexually active, while some of the other creatures are not meant to be sexually active, like they're not used to And we have like some of the creatures also being like have fluid gender, etc. And we also have Quentin confirmed being bisexual because he had a thing with a dude in the past, and now he seems to be like my character, and it seems that she's growing on him as well, even though they're totally from different places. Because I didn't know if I said, but our main character, who actually has a name now, Pyle, she is like part of the godless, and like that's why she's not praying and stuff. Like they are working against the gods and like is trying to take control away from them because they're terrible. They can control you from like far away. If you pray to them, they can like, I don't know, give you visions and like basically decide if you're worth stuff, etc. And like, as I said, take your soul and like kill you at any time, and they're terrible. I think like the whole system is really interesting, like with like everyone having their different god and some people like really believing in them and etc. I'm still having some trouble still though with some things like the POV shifts are really annoying because it doesn't say when we shift POVs at all, and they're both told in first person. So we probably have like blah 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 blah, and I don't realize we switch point of views because like they are together, so they're in the same place. It's just like we get another point of view, which I don't mind at all. It's just that please just tell me we switch point of views, because sometimes I don't get it. Like I want it's a bit annoying when you're like set in a certain point of view, and like the point of view shift is not like every second chapter or anything. It's just like they're totally random, and that's a bit annoying. And there's also something about the writing sometimes it's a bit annoying. Is that like we have like the names for the different creatures. So we have like a simmer, which I would say like is that you say a human or like humans. You would say it in plural, or you would put an A in front of a human. But with like the creatures, we don't have like an A in front of them. We just say simmer works, and I never go in like plural with them. So I assume we're talking about a person. Many times before I knew there were different creatures, I assumed we were talking about a person. I thought someone was named Simmer, but it was just a simmer. But it's not an A in front of simmer. So I just assumed it was a person. And it's like, because they're written with a big letter. So it's not like a human. It would be like human walked over, and then human went to the store, and many, like, I don't know how to like, describe it, but it's not specifically told. Like, you're talking about a populace, a species. It's just like a name, kind of. And that is a bit annoying because sometimes I don't know all the names for all the different like stuff. But the whole like sin thing and like how the gods oppress people, and it's interesting. Also, like we have the main characters going to do like this mission thing, and I don't understand what they were thinking with this mission. They were just kind of idiots, and I didn't understand it. It was just kind of convenience of the plot. Really weird. I feel like you can have said you've seen this plot before, but usually that will have been like the first 100 pages of a book, honestly, or less. And that's when you set up the story and like start going on this mystery. The setup took so long, and it feels like just a very slow-paced book because of this. But I do think the author's really trying to establish the world instead of like going straight into the plot. And I do appreciate it, but at the same time being a bit like, how are things going to play out, because we are taking so long to get here to this point, kind of, for like the pieces to like finally get going. But again, do get it with the world building, but why then was the world building so rushed? I don't know. I am conflicted. So some parts I do really enjoy actually now. I do enjoy like the, as I said, the world building when we got into it. But there's just some parts where I'm like, this is weird. And it's just like, it was like a random like super horny scene in the middle of it, and it's just a weird, like, I was just like, where does this come? And that's from me say that I love horny scenes, so that's from me. That is my thoughts so far. I'm hoping to finish tomorrow. I would say I will. This took much longer to read than I thought it was. I didn't get time for other stuff, but I'm trying to like prioritize stuff and not prioritize stuff, and it's the whole thing. Okay, but yeah, interesting. I hope I make some kind of sense. I'm trying to be a bit more talk like a bit thoroughly about my thoughts and taking like notes, like really proper notes here, but I don't know if I'm successful. There's also another aspect to our main character. Like there's several things they're finding out about her, but I'm not talking about it in depth because I feel like it's kind of like spoilery, since like it's being revealed a thing at the time of like things about her. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I need to sleep because I'm going to work tomorrow for a really long time, but I'm actually excited. But less reading time. Good night. I look like a mess, and I feel like the last update was here as well, but I went to work, and then the only thing I did when I came home I was reading, and I used so long to finish off the 30 hour. Like seriously, it was just such a book that I needed to read so thoroughly to get in every details, and I still haven't taken it into like the rating cubic thing that Cassidy made, so don't know my official rating yet. But thoughts is that I'm too tired to have thoughts. I enjoyed some parts. I enjoyed kinda the world. I just wish it had been written like better to explain the world. I guess I kind of enjoy the characters, at least like some of them. But I'm also just like, I didn't love it. I didn't love the characters. I thought the whole book was a bit messy in a way that like a lot of things, it was trying to do so many plot things at the same time. And I'll admit I didn't exactly know where the book was going to go, and I was surprised where it went, which I think like always is fun. I enjoyed some of the reveals, but since there was so much happening, we never got to like focus or digest anything that was going on. It was just like, we're going to the next thing, going to the next thing. I was just don't understand how anyone could do anything in this world, like the godless, the group we were following. It was just like every time they were going to do something, they kind of failed or got caught. And I was just like, how you guys been managing to do anything at all? And like every time the warders was gonna like, I don't know, arrest them or like deal with them, they just couldn't do it. Every time they couldn't like lock them down. And I get like it was special circumstances, but I'm just like, how does these people manage to do anything at all? And I was also a bit surprised of like the godless group, of like how few of them there were. I wish more people would, I don't know, be in a kind of group like that, because people, I don't know, surround themselves around like, I don't know, like when you're that suppressed, I feel like more people would care. And I feel like it wasn't a lot of people in that group. I don't know. What other things? There was a random rape scene. Didn't enjoy that. I was just like, okay, why do we have this scene? Because I feel like we didn't need it. Not that a rape scene is ever needed, but like, yeah, that happened. And just other things, just how the characters were handled, the writing. Putting you a bit down here because I had to hold you up because the wrap-up pile is not existed right now, so that's where you usually stand. Obviously written down some of the spoilers, but I do think some of the parts that were real was interesting, but I do also think some other parts were like weird. And I just think my character was just, I don't know what to say, like plain stupid. She was just an idiot. And I tried to care for the dude, but I was just like, he kind of an idiot too, but I like kind of liked him more. I don't know why. But yeah, some of the stuff happened, didn't love at all, as some reveals, and the world was interesting in a way. I just wish we could have focused more on the big things. And also I was like kind of curious more about like the other domains, because I didn't really understand how like the society functioned. We got so much world building, but I don't understand how the society functioned. So there's that. But yeah, I would try to like give an official rating like in my next clip or something when I put it in the thingy thing. I just need to sleep now. And then I need to decide what my next Spfbo book is going to be. I just haven't decided. I am considering doing a wheel thing. And the next clip I also might have just decided which one it's going to be. But I have some errands and some stuff to do tomorrow. So you should see me later then. And yeah. See you then. Hello! I'm a new person now because I got new glasses from the last clip. Because it's been a day and I got new glasses. Why are you laughing?
You went from one thing to another.
Yes, 2 different vlogs. My voice died. Like, I got slime. Nasty. Either way. Started my next Spfbo book at the bus today. Because I took a lot of bus today. It randomly became A Song for the Void. I don't know why. It was just like the one I had downloaded and that was the option I had. So I started that today and I'm like 9% in right now. Seems to be about this doctor dude that is over in China in like the 1800s. And there's like, I don't know, I think the opium wars have already happened. But it seems to be, I don't know, sympathetic to the Chinese. But it also seems to look down upon them a lot. Like a lot of stereotypical, typical things he thinks about them. I'm just like, great. Either way. And then now they're like on a ship and it like broke because they were like they were stopping some Chinese pirates or something. And that's all I got so far. Okay, I only read 9%, so I will try to finish it tonight. It reads much faster than the 13 hour, so we shall see. So far, don't love like the casual racism of the book. I don't know like how that will develop, but like I don't know. It just makes me feel a bit weird, but we shall see. Like I'm not saying. Like, obviously, these people back in the day were probably, yes, racist to the Chinese. I'm not saying they weren't, but I'm just like, but what are we just gonna be like that? I don't know. Either way, now I'm gonna read. So I should update with thoughts later. If I should probably update one more time before I actually finish off the book, which I see. I'm really horrible at this. But that is my thoughts so far. That is the book I started. I don't actually know more about the plot. Hope you like my new glasses. See you later. Okay, so I was going to talk, and then the second I started to talk, Erica started to type. Like, seriously, I don't know what's wrong with her. I read a bit more now. I'm on 49%, so that is basically, 50%. And I'm gonna try to finish it before going to bed, but I also have work early, so I might not be able to, like, I think I would just about not finish it, but we shall see, like, how tired I am. But I'm thinking I'll go to my own bed now, and then just try to, like, see how sleep I get. But either way, it's getting more interesting. I'm obviously not going to spoil it. I think it's 49% is pretty far in. So it's basically, like, they did get back to the ship, and then we have, like, many different people on the ship. Because it's, like, a warship, they work for the British Navy. And we have, like, we follow our doctor. I can't keep the camera still. He's, like, mourning a lot of loss in his life, basically, that you find out more about. And he's also been opium addicted. And now, like, a lot of weird stuff is happening on the ship. I knew it was going to be, like, kind of a, like, horror kind of thing. And it definitely fits into that. But I thought we would go into the spiral thing that is on the cover. Because it looks like we're going to, like, I thought we would descend into madness and that. So I don't know if we, like, if the cover is even related or if, like, it would show up later. Erica's typing so much. It's so rude of her. Yeah, we shall see. But so far, like, it is interesting. And, like, there's some people that really hate the Chinese. And we have a main character who adopted a Chinese daughter. That now is not there anymore. Like, you find out really early. So it's sad. I don't know. But it's, I mean, yeah. I don't know. But either way, I don't have enough brain cells to take up that. I can't say a sentence. But that's what's happening, and, like, a bit more about, like, what the book is about and how I feel. Like, I feel intrigued. I want to know what's going on. And, like, I don't hate it. And I think it's much better, like, much calmer to read than the 13th hour. Like, I don't know why I'm comparing the two, but that's what we're doing here anyway. Because, like, that was, like, so much information, so much going on. Here's, like, it's much like a calmer mystery thing. And I always enjoy a ship story. I always like people being stuck in one place. And the only option I have is to just die there. Not die there, but, like, they can't do anything. They can't run away because you're stuck in a ship in the middle of nowhere. What are you gonna do? Unless you're a mermaid and you can piss off, you know. So yeah, I like that aspect. I'm really unused to me seeing myself in these glasses. So I'm just like, I will update later tonight, tomorrow morning, something like that. See you later. And I also need to, like, decide on my rating for 13 hour. I haven't done it in Excel yet because I'm thinking still. My brain is like, what do I think about a book? I don't know. So it is the next day. I didn't finish last night's Song of the Void because I was too tired. I was in my bed and I was going to finish the book, and then my eyes kept slipping, and I was just like, well, then I can read because then I won't get the story because I want to know the story. And I finished now. It's the next day. It is a bit late. I will try to start the next Spfbo book. I mean, I need to not go to bed in quite a long while, so it's fine. I don't know what to say. I really actually enjoyed the beginning, even though I don't know what I feel like about the setting and how things were presented. But I felt like the characters were okay. I liked a main character. I liked an interesting backstory, and I liked, like, the setting of the ship and, like, the idea of what was going on. And then when we came to, like, what it was really about, don't know how I feel at all. It is not like it wasn't expected. It's not even about that. It was just, like, the conclusion was a bit like, okay. Like, it didn't even, like, it didn't feel like anything. And I felt like stuff didn't really matter in the end. And I was just like, oh, okay. It tried to take off a lot of philosophy, actually. Like, who are you? How do you know you're real? That's, like, questions the book asks. And I'm not saying that the book needed to give answers to those questions, but I feel like it just tried to take up different things and have this setting just to have this setting. And try to have this thing as a, not exactly a conflict, but the villain. Erica's playing League of Legends behind me. It's just she's being noisy. But I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I feel like it didn't quite, like, hit the marks of, like, what it was trying to do. So it didn't feel like, it felt just like, And also, like, when we came to a certain point, I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, but after, like, we've been on the ship, or, like, we were still kind of on the ship, I guess, like, after the things had played out in a way, I would just kind of was not interested in anything that was happening anymore. So I was, to be honest, just, I don't care, I'm bored, I want it to be over now. Which was a bit sad because I was really intrigued in, like, the first, I guess, 200 pages. But the ending was just like, man. Either way, I have still not taken in everything in the spreadsheet. So I'm going to actually do the rating now for 13 Gods and Song of a Void. And I will update you very soon. I need to think about it, so I'm not going to film me doing that. But I will give you an update very soon too. Like, what the ratings actually are. So give me a second. So I put in my ratings. And it says that the 13th hour is 5.2. And the Song of a Void is 4.2. Which I feel like doesn't make sense because I feel like I enjoyed the Song of the Void at the beginning more, but like since it didn't lead anywhere, it became like a lower rated book. While Scales, not Scales Sensibility, I looked at the wrong name. That an hour, I feel like it led somewhere, but it was just a mess. So overall, not great endings for either of them. But what I thought I would do now is because I don't know which Spfbo books to pick out next because honestly I don't know. So I put everything that is left in a wheel, which is, you know, it's 8 books left, and let's spin it. Let's see what I get. That says A Touch of Light. It's not really long. I'm gonna check, but I'm not gonna read the whole thing today. I'm gonna try to read 100 and not 100 pages, 200 pages before I go to bed. That is my goal. I'm really excited for this one. This is my second best top prediction. So we shall see. Oh, 454 pages. It's not that bad. So I shall try to finish it tomorrow. Okay, I will go and start it now. Give you an update of what I feel when I get into it. See you soon. So I took off the lights and all that stuff and went to bed, and then I was just like, oh, I need to update this vlog. So I went and read until like 150-ish. I'm gonna read a bit before bed, but like I don't want to update after because then I'm not gonna look more than a troll than I do now. But I basically feel like 150 is a good way to like maybe say what the book is about. I don't actually know what it is about. Like we have several kingdoms, we have several point of views. It's really like a high fantasy kind of book. We have kind of like a religion people are following, where like that is the enemy. So when you die, they kind of like stop talking about you, and like you're not allowed to talk about like death, etc. We follow like one of the strongest kingdom in this domain, and the crown prince there is called Adrian, and then his father's like really strict. He has apparently lived for like some centuries, and Adrian himself is like 200 years old. I don't know if everyone in all of the domain lived that long, but it seems like a really normal thing, or if it was only the royal family. It said something about their blood, so I don't know if it's the royal family that lives that long or everyone. I am confused. We have followed some other point of views. One who is like a hunter who like kind of has come into a rough spot now, and then another character who is like a radiant guard thing, or like a radiant, like they kind of warrior. They're also like in a rough spot, etc. And those are the 3 point of views we're following so far. And then like it's an unrest in the domain because like our strongest kingdom that we like following is like want to take over all the kingdoms, and there's like other stuff happening, like personal stuff that's happening to main character, where like this literally happened in the first chapter, whereas we saw he was gonna marry alive, and then next chapter she was dead and he's trying to like bring her back. So it seems like bringing back people is like a kind of thing, since like that is the enemy, but like they're not allowed to. Maybe this is just me theorizing because you're not supposed to interact or talk with the ones who are dead that usually burn them. So then you can't resurrect them because it's not body anymore. So I'm sure like if it will be successful with this. So this is kind of like the vague plot lines of what I've gotten so far, and obviously it's like a vast world, etc. But it's like it's getting like really high fantasy vibes things. And I'm interested to see where we'll go. Like I'm interested in the world, etc. I'm not like fully comprehending everything yet, even though I'm like already 150 pages in, but I feel like it's normal in high fantasy to like take a little while to like settle in and like realize everything, etc. And I'm just admiring my new glasses. Okay, I always will share more thoughts. I will read some now before bed, trying to get to 200, which I think I would do because it's like I think it's like 40 pages until or something, and then I shall sleep and go really early to work. Might read some of my work and then read the rest when I get home. So yeah, we shall see how it goes. Very different from the 2 other ones. 13 hour like instant, you know, info dump, and Song for the Void, very slow ship mystery thing, and now we have this. So I love the variety here. I really do. Feel like I'm reading like a different varied stuff of things, and it's fun. Okay, but I'm gonna go and read it now. So yeah, and I actually need to sleep soon. I might not even reach 200, but ew, what is sleep anyway? Bleh. Okay, adding to what I just said, Lynn is the character was like, I said, what did I say was a guard? Santiel was the word, like a fighter thingy. And it says that she is 160 years old. So it seems like to be a thing where people just live for a long time, which I think is interesting and cool. And I felt like correcting myself because I was stupid. So yeah, gonna keep reading. And probably see him tomorrow unless I have to say something else. Really sexy angle this, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like almost ashamed. Almost. So I swear I'm not an idiot. It has been a whole day. We're just in the same place as per usual. I did finish A Touch of Light. I was working really early. I came home, I had a video, had a live show, And then I did finish the book, and then I didn't do anything afterwards. Like, I was dead. I was just lying there, and I was just like, to take up the camera and vlog is too much effort, but I'm doing it now. Even though it's like 2:30 a.m. and I'm definitely going to bed. But I don't know final thoughts for the book. It was a very, like, it wasn't terrible or anything like that. It was an interesting book with a really, like, vast world, and we followed these 3 point of views I talked about earlier, and they follow their different journeys, and they go somewhere, even though they're in vast different places. But they do interconnect somehow, and then we ended on, like, a kind of cliffhanger thing, and I'm just like, I'm intrigued for more. And I feel like it was a really good book while it is really hard to explain. And I feel like you're confused for a lot of it. Not like confused as in you don't know what's happening. Like, it's not like that. It's like there's battles, you know it's a battle, but it's like you don't quite see all the pieces or just like the full picture yet. And I think it's like part of the journey, because like I guess it will come together more as like I know the sequel's out, etc. At the same time though, it leaves me a bit wanting. I wanted like kind of more. I wanted to feel, I guess, more amazed by it. And I feel like it was written very well, and I feel like the characters was really good. I just feel confused about the world, and like I don't think the plot is as strong as it could have been. Like, why it definitely have, like, they have their different journeys. It doesn't feel like right now for me like the big coherent fantasy plot I wanted. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's also a really difficult book to rate, because I feel like some parts of it was really, really, really good, and there was nothing about it that was bad. Like, I can't say this was bad. Like, while, like, you know, A Song of War, for example, I felt like that, and it was pretty boring. So I wouldn't say that it's bad, but like it was just like that's it lost my interest. Nothing about this book made me lose interest or made me think it was a bad book, or like I didn't feel negative towards it, but I didn't feel like super hyped and super into it either. While like definitely over mid, but not like on top either. Like mid to top. Kinda. I will try to like put it in the rating spreadsheet thingy and see like where it lands at. Definitely the strongest one so far. I know everyone else has loved it, and like I don't know, I don't think everyone has given it 5 stars, but like I know it's like a huge favorite for people. And I just feel like it was really good and enjoyable. And in my head, like if I was gonna say rating right now, I would definitely give it 4 stars. But not like an ultimate favorite or anything like that. I'm trying to like differentiate the two, if that makes sense. So that is my thoughts. I will try to vlog more and not just in bed. That is I just vlog from bed. Always. That's what I have to say, I guess, for now. I don't know if I'll like have more final thoughts later in the vlog before I end it. But I do think we can spin again. We can spin again. Because I cannot decide stuff. So I think we should just spin. Because I'm gonna read them all one after one another. Oh, I can read a manga now. I can do that, but that's unrelated to this. Where's my spinning wheel? Spinning! Oh, it's not focusing. I'm so sorry. This is terrible. Can you focus? There. Okay. So we got Scales and Sensibility, which is the Stephanie Bergen's book. I will guess I'll start it tomorrow. I don't know how many pages it is, but I will check it tomorrow and stuff. I'm itching on my back. Give first impressions, give more thoughts mid through. I should sleep now. I'm having a good time because like since I literally know nothing, which is a bit exciting. Who knows? Let's go. I look so fancy with my vacuum cleaner, used towel and mic. Either way, I started Scales and Sensibility, which is really fun. I read like around 80 pages and I'm trying to finish it tonight, but we should see if that happens. So it basically follows our main character Eleanor, whose parents died in an accident, and then her and her siblings were sent to different family members, and she's living with her aunt and her cousin and like her uncle, and her cousin is like a terrible person. And in this society we kind of live in like, I'm just calling it like a Bridgerton area kind of book. Really like sociable acceptable to have small giants like on you when you go on like events, and her cousin is soon going to go for her debut, and then her cousin has now got her dragon right before she's going for her debut, and the dragon is like in her cousin's eyes like terrible and ugly, and then she freaks out a bit, and then Eleanor gets pissed at her and then like says everything she's been holding inside for the last 6 months and leaves. And she doesn't have like any money or anything, and she meets this like gentleman dude who helps her a bit, who's looking to marry her cousin because she has money. And then the next morning her dragon, that apparently they don't have magic, But they do have magic because they turned her into like an older woman that was supposed to come and help Eleanor with her tribute, but didn't want to come after all. That's called De Lacy, and now she's turned into this woman. Everyone believes she's her, and she's now going back to the house to like lead Penelope and like kind of help the dude that helped her, etc. And still also in most of the interest to take care of the dragon because she doesn't know how to take care of one. And the gentleman dude, I don't remember his name right now, Edwards, maybe. His friend is like a scholar that studies dragons. So he's also there, and then she know that maybe he can help her with stuff. And that is like kind of the plot. It's obviously very like funny and cute. It's written very like humorously. And I think like my theory is that obviously the dude is going to realize that it is her. They're going to be the ones to fall in love. I don't know what they're going to do with the money problem, but maybe that will be solved somehow because she doesn't have any money. Gigi's very upset about this. He doesn't have any money. She doesn't have any money. So I don't know how they're going to solve that. But obviously I think they're going to fall in love. I also believe the whole book is a series. And I do then think that every book in the series follows one of the siblings. That she does mention a lot. But like obviously they are not the main characters. They're like, we're like separated. When I say they're separated, it sounded really bad. But you get what I mean. That is kind of the premise of the book. Obviously I didn't know this because synopsis is what is that. But so far just really fun and cute. The humor is very like sweet and fun. The tone is very sweet and fun. Sad to say, I doubt there will be a sex scene. Very, very disappointed, obviously. But overall, just really liking the tone of the story. We should see if it manages to hold up, because even though it has like a lot of the tone and like atmosphere and type of story I enjoy, it can still feel like after a while if it's not like good. So yeah, but so far exactly kind of the stuff I was expecting. Love like the little dragon aspect, and I might update you before I'm done, but probably when I'm done. We shall see if I finish tonight or not. I have good time kinda, and I don't have any other plans because Erica's like a really, really boring person right now, so I just can read, I guess. Blub, 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 blub. See you later. Every night I go in here and I want to put you on my wrap-up pile, and I haven't finished any books that is physical, so I don't have any pile to put you in. But I did finish Skates and Sensibility. It was very cute. Kind of not exactly how I thought it was gonna go with some points, but like it was still like the vibes and everything I wanted. I thought it would be like a very strong 4-star, but when I finished it, I was just like, okay, I don't think it's a complete 4-star. Again, I haven't put in that or a touch of light in like the actual rating thingy, so I don't like actually know like the final stuff for it yet, but obviously I will have like a thingy in the end, and like, or not, I would say before the end, I mean. But I enjoyed it a lot. Wait, I just realized it's just one more book for this vlog. Well, either way, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the parts that like came to be what to say. I enjoyed like just the story. It was just very sweet, very innocent, very much about like fun. It wasn't, you know, like that serious or anything like that. It was definitely like the happy ending you expected the story to have. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially since you kind of know it's going in for the vibes, for like the cute vibes. And I enjoyed the dragon aspects of it, and I enjoyed just the romance didn't even blow me away. I just love our smart main character, and it was an enjoyable book. I again not 100% sure about the rating, but we shall see. And what I'm most excited about is to spin a wheel and see what our 5th book would be. I want to put you down. I just pushed a lot of books back in my shelf so you can stand here, which is actually not a terrible spot. Wouldn't film a video, but I just want to spin a wheel, because like I feel like this is the best way to decide, because I don't know like which one to read next. But it will be the 5th one, and I haven't decided if I'm taking a break or not, or just continuing on. Like I can't decide, but we shall see. I might take like, it depends. If I start a new book, I might not read that as intensely, so I might be like 2 or 3 day break. I haven't decided. Either way, I need to stop talking and just spin. Let's see. Okay, it won't focus today. And we got the Umbral Storm, which is that the one I predicted would be my favorite? Sometimes I literally can't remember. It is like one of the interesting fantasy looking ones. I am curious to see what I would think about it. I think it seems to be the vibe for like a high fantasy one, and I wonder how it would be. I feel like I haven't gotten like a proper solid really like book. Like I enjoyed Touch of Light, but I also feel like it was like a strong gore than the others, but I still like haven't gotten like punched, you know. I don't know if it will happen, but we shall see. I don't know why I talk so weird, but I am trying to describe emotions that I don't know how to describe, okay? And tomorrow I'm also working at a bingo that it probably won't be an update like in between in the book, because I will planning to read the whole thing there if I make it. So you shall see my thoughts then, because I can't vlog at work, but I'm gonna definitely read it at work. I am also reading my manga there though, so I might not be able to completely finish it depending how many pages it is. So I will finish it when I go home, so then you actually get thoughts mid. It doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm telling you this, you will see it happen. But yeah, I need to go to bed now. It is only 12:44, much later than I thought it was. I need to wake up kind of early, so I should have been in bed already. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night. Okay, so today didn't go exactly as planned. I was gonna go home and I was gonna read loads after work, because I did read a manga, I read a comic, and then I was gonna like read 400 pages in the Umbral Storm so that I could finish it tomorrow. I came to page 127, and it's not like the book is bad or anything like that. It's just I came home, I watched TV shows and played games instead, and now it is 2 a.m, so I'm not gonna read. It's fine. I was kind of needed a little chill day. I'll see if I can actually finish the whole thing tomorrow, because now it's like 400 pages left. So I think it should maybe make it. Wait, isn't it 650? Well, dang, maybe I won't make it, but it depends how much I read tomorrow and like how concentrated I am. But thoughts about Umbral so far, my 127 pages I read. I didn't know anything about it, but so far really enjoying it. So we follow these two characters. I did write down their names, even though like character names not the most important thing. I mean, I'm not saying it's not important at all, but it's like the general plot. You don't need a character names, that's what I meant to say. So we have Darren, who is not a slave, but he has been sold into service for like 3 years, and then he's like free again, while the others that work there are more slaves. And they work for like this noble family that kind of has fallen like a bit into disgrace, and they are like hunting for crabs, etc., for food and to sell, because like the family that they work for like don't have money for like, I was gonna say, where they used to live. They kind of live like in the forest somewhere. And then we also have Hath, who is the son of the dude who owns most of the slaves and kind of own their own service. And then this shard person shows up that kind of has like a shard thing that gives him power, and then he kills Hath's dad, who is like the master. He's like terrible. And then some other people show up as well, and it's like, hey, this dude wasn't actually how we were, because they were like really known warriors. These sharded people, sharded few they are called. And it turns out that maybe some of our characters had the potential to carry shards, and then there's like different talents within the shards as well. And they're going like back to the castle where like the sharded people are being trained up, etc. And then, you know, Hath, who was the son of the master dude, it turns out that he has like the genes to be like the servants to the sharded few, and Darren has the genes to like become a sharded few. So they kind of would switch positions in that way. That is kind of their relationship so far. They don't really have a great relationship, but we shall see if like they develop into being like friends, or if like they will try to be friends and then maybe they become like proper enemies later. I don't know actually, but it's a fascinating like dynamic, and I think it's written really well as well. We also have this random girl who like grew up in the forest, and she has also the potential to be a sharded, and her name is Aliyah, or they call her Leaf. So those are like our 3 main characters, as you like, even though we only follow the point of view of Darren and Hath. I didn't know any of this going in, but I feel like I need to say some things about the plot, even though like this covers a lot of the beginning of the book. I don't feel like it is a spoiler, because it's the setup for the book. And as I said, I checked and the book is like 650 pages or something, and I was like, dang, that's a long book. I did not expect that. But also it reads really easy, and it is really fun, and I am really enjoying it. It is like the tropes I really enjoy. I love so much growing up and being like, hey, we need to train you now, you guys are kind of special, and it's like one of my favorite tropes. And just the way it's written, and I'm enjoying like how things are explained, because obviously they have a lot of questions. It feels natural that things are explained to us, and we just see like what else develop and like what other conflicts they will meet. Right now this is like the main stuff that's happening, and obviously I'm not going to spoil like the events, but so far really looking good. This was my #1 prediction, and so far I'm really enjoying it the most in the beginning of all of them, even though like when I think about it, all of the beginnings of all the books were really strong. it's not always like everything in the book landed for me, I guess. But yeah, I am fascinated, but it's many pages, so we should see how I feel about it. Even though my favorite tropes is when I get to a place I need to train to become good at whatever they need to do, like go through training. I love go through training phases in fantasy. I know that not everyone enjoys them, but I just love seeing them learn their abilities and like how they would develop and like how they develop as characters, not just their abilities, but how they develop as characters when they're there. You can really see who they shape out to become, etc. But yeah, I shall try to update here and there as I read more tomorrow. I need sleep now, and then tomorrow we shall see what happens if I finish it. Good night. Okay, so it's the next day, and I'm again going to bed. I feel like this is just a recurrent clip we have here. I was going to finish the Umbral Storm today because I just decided to do so. It didn't happen. I am like ish on page 400, and I'll definitely finish it tomorrow, but I had a lot of time today. I could have finished it. I just kind of procrastinated a lot, kind of relaxed and stuff, but I am very much enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the development of the story. We are like now, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but we are like now on the way to becoming stuff and seeing more conflict in like the vast world and seeing like this vast magic system that the author has made, and I'm really much enjoying it. I'm enjoying the characters a lot. I'm liking the writing, and I'm enjoying the world and like the secrets it is telling us. I wonder what kind of developments will happen. I have like some images in my mind of like what should change to make this a better world, and if those changes will happen, as well as where our characters could go, but I'm not sure. Overall, just very much enjoying the ride. It's like the kind of fantasy I really enjoy and kind of forget sometimes. Like I read so much, they all not blend together, but they all like, I enjoy most of what I read, but sometimes I forget like what I really like, and this is like the kind of story I really like. So we should see like how much it is gonna keep up now for the last, what, 250 pages is it? Is it 650 or 750? How many pages is the book? It is 650, right, Sandra? It is 650. Yes, I'm not stupid. Yeah, and I will definitely finish it tomorrow. I just been weird today. I'm not productive, which I feel shitty for, but I'm gonna try to get over it. That is my thoughts so far. So just overall really positive. And I realized I haven't taken the last 2 months in the reading thingy, but I will do it all not now, before the end of this vlog. And you should see me tomorrow when I probably finish the book, and we're probably done on this vlog if I'm not incorrect in my head. Yay. So it is the next day, and I came home from work, and I did finish Umbral Storm at work, and it was so good. I really enjoyed it. I think that I engaged a lot with the story. I do think that it definitely has like so many like fantasy tropes, like the chosen one, special people. I saw like a lot of like, I don't know, Wheel of Time, Brandon Sanderson in it. Some like Jade City vibes as well, but just obviously like they pull a lot from like the tropes because that's why they are the biggest fantasy stuff thingies. And I think it did it really well, like trying to like keep you engaged with new stuff as well. I could like almost see influence or like the stuff I've seen before too much, but it's like it's fine because like so much fantasy does that. But overall, just an engaging story, and I'm really curious to see where we go and how the world will develop. And I immediately actually want to see if the sequel's out because I would want to read it soon, but it's not out yet, so I'm sad. So I feel like that is a good sign. If you want to read a sequel at once, it's a good sign. I don't think it's a quite 5-star read for me, even though I'm really like picky about this in general, but it's like a really strong one, and I definitely like my favorite of the 5 I read in this vlog, I think, at least enjoyment wise. So I still haven't put the last 3 ones I read in the thingy thing, so I'm gonna do that for the last clip of this and like put up like a little stats thingies, or try to at least. So I would do that afterwards because I didn't have to do some other stuff first now. Hyped that I finished it, and you should see me very soon. So for some reason I put off doing this to the next day because I was just like yesterday after saying whatever I said, I was like no, and then I just no. But I have put in thoughts in the spreadsheet thingy. So we landed with A Touch of Light on 7, which now, as you can see, is winning of the 3. And then, you know, I read Scales and Sensibility, which ended on a 6.8, which landed under A Touch of Light, but still better than The Song of Void and The 13th Hour. And then, you know, I read Umbral Storm, and that ended on a 7.8, which means right now it's winning. And I was just like, hello, I feel like I enjoyed Umbral Storm so much. Why isn't it a higher rating? Because I feel like 7.8 It seems so low, but it's basically impossible, not impossible. Well, it is basically impossible to get it like to a 10 with like how Cassie did the rankings, which is like, she did it on purpose. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that. It's just interesting. And now I'm just like reflecting upon like all my ratings of my whole life. Like, am I too nice with ratings? Because I feel like in my head, all of these are like much higher than what it like comes out as. Not that it necessarily needs to directly like translate into a star rating, but it's just like, it seems so low. Like, I feel like I enjoyed The Song of the Void fine, but 4.2 seems low when you like rank like every aspect of the book. If you want like the ranking metric thingy, it is in the link down below, if I forgot to say. It's just interesting. I'm just reflecting upon my ratings in general, like thoughts, and like I assumed in my head I enjoyed them much more, and then it's just like, it's so low. That is the ranking so far for the 5 first books for Spfbo. I'm gonna end this vlog here because else it's gonna be like so long. I've already started the next book, but I'm gonna say what that is in the next vlog that I'm gonna start right after this clip. You have my standing so far. The Umbral Storm is my favorite so far. Again, predicted to be my favorite of all of them. So we should see if that holds up. The only one that surprised me the most, I think, was maybe 13 Hour and Song of the Void, because I don't know what I really expected. But I am having a really good time because it's like, I'm reading so much different stuff, and like, you don't know much about them because you haven't heard that many people talk about them, etc. Not that I usually read synopses or reviews before reading a book, but you can have a vibe, you know, before picking up a book. And in these, like, I don't know what I expect because I literally don't know if it's gonna be terrible or not. So I am enjoying this experience. It is like, I'm having a lot of fun, much more fun than I thought I would. Not that I didn't think I was gonna have fun, but I'm having more fun than I thought I would. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to Cassidy for asking me to be a part of this. You should see me soon in a new one. Check out my Patreon down below if you wanna support my channel further. And you should see me soon in a new one. Goodbye.